You're about to listen to the Pro Wrestling Zone podcast, a Majestic production property. One of the quickest rising professional wrestling podcasts on the market today, and the most entertaining podcast in the history of existence. Please note, before diving into the show, that this is for entertainment purposes only, so myself and Peanut Gallery engage in exaggerations, dirty or offensive jokes, and satirical comments. If you are a triggered little snowflake who gets professionally offended, this is not the podcast for you. If you do enjoy our work, we ask that you contribute to our Patreon page at patreon.com/MajesticP. Contributors get access to the Discord, vote on what topic we cover, and enjoy exclusive content such as pay-per-view watch parties. Here's a sample of that from NXT TakeOver Portland. What about the other company that Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly went from?
Oh, ROH?
The one that they were signed exclusively to.
Oh, Ring of Honor?
Oh, no. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my God. I felt that in my hand. If this is something you believe you would enjoy, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/MajesticP and become a patron. This ensures that we continue to entertain you for years to come. Without further ado, sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Pro Wrestling Zone, and we just got over WrestleMania 36, and we're going to be talking about
New Jack.
So, Dark Side of the Ring debuted.
Oh, by the way, I'm Peanut Gallery.
And I am Tiger Height, and I'm still champion by bullshit.
Literally the last match. We had 7 differences, and we had 3 differences apiece up until the 7th match, and that was a fatal 5-way match we had a difference on, and Tiger Height won. He is still the champion.
So we'll get into that later, but let us discuss any news or anything that we've heard. I want to send out my congratulations to Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford of AEW, where they are actually engaged.
Yay!
So that's all a good thing. Congratulations to them. Joey Janela, stop being a butthurt little bitch. I see you on Twitter.
Let's talk about, so AEW apparently did probably months worth of taping in, QT Marshall's gym, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was QT.
They were in Georgia, where Georgia did not have the strict guidelines for 10 people.
The lockdown order, essentially.
The stay-at-home order. They did not have that there. They had to move it because they're like, we just got to get this done, and they did.
Right.
All the measures were in place.
And it apparently they have probably months worth of content for the show. So that's good.
Yep.
I don't think we'll see a live event before
Double or Nothing.
No way. I don't think that's going to happen. All the pay-per-views for April have been pretty much canceled besides WrestleMania.
Yes. And also be prepared, people. Hunker down. It's going to be a long one.
This is going to be the worst 2 weeks right here.
Right.
They said Easter is going to be the peak. So stay safe, stay healthy. Try and leave the house as little as possible,
and you'll be fine.
Yep. Here, at least here in Vegas, the weather's going to be okay after the rain comes in early this week.
Right.
I mean, we're going to get some rain, but it's not a big deal. But, get outside and do some exercising. Just maintain social distancing. But, yes. Stay safe out there. It's going to get pretty bad. Be ready.
Right. We're going to get through this. We're almost to that climb.
We're almost to the apex. They, in fact, think that New York has already hit their apex.
Yes, that's what I've heard, which is a good thing.
Yep.
That's one of the big epicenters, so there's some positivity. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I guarantee you they will not be extending I'm pretty sure, 98%, that they're not going to extend it past April 30th if the peak comes next week.
Yes.
That's just me. We're not going to talk about it too much because we have more to discuss as a part of shows and news.
And we will do the impact that COVID-19 has had on the wrestling industry as a special after the whole thing is over. I think
Yes.
we'll discuss how it has changed, because really, I think we're starting to see some of these changes, and there's some positives and some negatives.
Right, we have seen some, but obviously it's probably going to take at least a month to kind of get the full scope of it. So
Yeah.
obviously we have plenty of content, not a big deal.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of content for the next couple weeks.
Like the dark side of the ring. Speaking of that, let's talk about this episode.
Boy, all right, well, let's move on here.
So, well, I mean, we have to. There
was not a lot of news besides WrestleMania.
Right. And
So.
also this.
Right.
This was the episode that covered New Jack, who
Yes.
is one of the most infamous wrestlers from ECW ever.
Yeah.
He has gone to almost killing a 17-year-old kid,
which I just learned about during this episode.
Is he okay? Wait. So I think Peanut Gallery learned more about infamous moments in wrestling from this episode than any other.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I knew about mass transit incidents, and I was wondering when they talk about it, but I didn't realize that New Jack was a part of that.
He was the main instigator in it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, no. And it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I just thought that mass transit should have deserved its own episode almost.
Maybe we'll talk about it later.
I know,
I mean,
but
obviously, a lot with what we're discussing here with Dark Side of the Ring. We're going to talk about topics that kind of coincide with it.
Right.
So next week I'll talk about it later. But New Jack. So I believe New Jack does watch us. So please don't kill me. He has stabbed people on film and not given a fuck. The one thing that I have to give credit to New Jack, and I didn't really realize it until this, that one, he was a promo before his time.
Oh God, yes, he was good at garnering heat. I mean, he could get heat in 2 minutes.
Oh yeah,
he was before his time with that.
Oh yeah, no, he was doing his job correct, and I think if anything, if New Jack wants to do anything in training, teach people how to do promo and how to get
Oh my
heat.
God, yes,
100.
absolutely.
It's like, I mean, the one thing that I really heard from a lot of these people was what you saw from New Jack. New Jack was New Jack cranked up to 11.
Right.
He came from a broken home, and he saw a lot, and he kind of, him and his mom never really had a great relationship, and he's like, at that point, I just said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
The one thing that I really did not like is that they did not cover the Grimes thing that led up to the infamous scalpel match.
Uh-huh.
Where he threw Grimes off trying to kill him.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yes.
That one where he actually tried to kill somebody.
They did not cover the incident that happened before in depth to what I believe should have happened. It was like an offshoot comment. So basically what happened was Grimes, they were going to do a spot where they fell off of a scaffolding. It was like 10 feet in the air, threw a table on a concrete floor. Okay, whatever.
Right.
This is ECW. They did this all the time. Don't think that, don't clutch your pearls.
Right.
Grimes hesitated. And New Jack, dragged him because New Jack was already off the scaffold.
Right.
So Grimes flipped. New Jack landed on the table. The table didn't break.
Right.
He landed, and then Grimes came and landed butt first right on his head, where he saw brain fluid, and he's temporarily blind in one eye, and that's why he hated him.
Right.
And they did not cover
that piece of it. Right.
all. And if you did not know that, you'd be like, why did he just try to kill this guy again? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Exactly.
I feel like they wasted a lot of time. They could have covered that. I feel like this was a weird episode.
It was.
It
was more of like a career retrospective almost.
Yeah, and for me, I really wanted to know. I mean, okay, a career retrospective on New Jack is fine,
but for Dark Side of the Ring, we want to know the nitty gritty. We want to know the fuck.
Right, and they did not really cover that great.
Yeah.
They covered him stabbing that one guy in an empty seat arena, which that was a big thing,
right?
Too. And then they also covered the 70-year-old man. I can't remember his name. Gypsy Joe.
Yes.
They covered the Gypsy Joe match. I thought they covered that pretty well.
Yeah.
Where
Mass Transit was. I thought Mass Transit was done pretty well as well.
Oh, I thought that was great. That was the main focus,
of course,
because that was like the
that was his infamous match.
Right, that was it. Where he was, a 17-year-old kid. They showed that big scar on his head because Jack just kind of like cut him up no insult to the dead, but
right.
A pig.
Right.
He cut him up like a stuffed pig. And number one, I mean, okay, the family are kind of assholes.
Right.
And
they tried to sue, but they had affidavits saying he said he was 21, blah, 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 which
did not happen because Tiny... I'm surprised they got Tiny the Terrible on there. So Tiny the Terrible was the midget with New Jack when he would present him, and they actually got him on there.
Right.
So that was kind of weird that he was like, I didn't say anything because this. It's like, that would have been something that I would have brought up.
Exactly.
Nothing against Tiny the Terrible, midget wrestler for many, many years, but if you knew he wasn't who he said he was, the integrity of the wrestlers
are coming
in,
right, is coming into focus.
Right.
So,
and he said that he was a student. They didn't cover this, which I thought was weird. He was claiming that he was a student of Killer Kowalski.
I think they mentioned that briefly.
They mentioned it briefly, but they didn't mention that Kowalski was in the building. They could vouch for it and say, is this guy really your guy? He would have said no, and it would have been the end of it.
Right.
They didn't do that. I don't know why.
And, again, it's one of those things where I really feel like the whole mass transit incident should have been like a show of its own.
It could have been.
It could have been. Absolutely.
Maybe have done a two-parter like the Chris Benoit one. In every sense of the word, I should say. But it was a good episode, don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
And it got good ratings. I think it got like 2.3 million when it was released. Oh, that was really good. Chris Benoit's got like 3.5, and that was the highest rated one.
Well, yeah, of course.
Obviously. The next one, that's going to be the next his own heart. Let's be honest. But this one just felt kind of rushed.
It did.
And there's a lot to New Jack nuancely. I really wanted them to cover more of the Smoky Mountain Wrestling stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool as well.
Because that is where I think New Jack showed more than anything, where it's like, we had to put a disclaimer for Smoky Mountain. I'm like, that's how you draw
exactly
heat, where sponsors were like, we don't want to be involved in this because you believe this. No, we don't. Okay, we'll have to put a disclaimer. Perfect. I got goosebumps when I heard that. I was like, wow, this guy got heat. I love watching old footage like that, too.
Right.
It's so cool.
Exactly. So, all in all, obviously, I don't think anything can compare to Benoit two-parter, but I thought it was a pretty good show.
Mm-hmm. Especially for one that people were questioning. It's like, why are they covering New Jack?
Right.
That's why they covered New Jack, and I thought they did pretty good with it. I liked it. I watched it again.
Well, which one is the next one?
The next one is going to be the Brawl for All. And I'm going to...
That's right.
I'm going to explain the complexities of the next show because I kind of want to do this for the Dark Side of the Rings from this point forward. And then we're going to revisit the discussions relating to New Jack, which is
extreme hardcore wrestling.
If hardcore
and
wrestling
we're gonna rediscuss the Benoit story about concussions in wrestling.
Yes, because
so that will be a special non-pay-per-view episode.
And also, what is it called? What did he have? He had like the holes in his brain.
Yeah, that's like part of the concussions.
Yeah. We're gonna cover that, but obviously there were other things.
And if it shows up in a future episode, we'll discuss it there. But we plan on discussing aspects of the show, after we talk about the Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Right.
So,
and if WrestleMania did not just happen about an hour ago, we probably would have covered the hardcore wrestling thing. But when of
course, WrestleMania two-nighter is taking precedence, and when we're back from the break, we will discuss night number 1, which was Saturday, and all of its fun and exciting shows. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.